Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. Today we're having another look at the Patriot system and how effective it can be at defending against various types of missiles. Now we've looked at this before. For instance, back here we did, could Patriot Pac-3 defend Ukraine from Russian hypersonic Kinjal missiles? One really important thing is that we were using the Swedish version of the Patriot, but CH has now come back and made the original American MIM 104 Patriot high fidelity mod for DCS. Say hello, CH.
Hello everyone.
So you've made the native American version of it, CH, and obviously we've got to go and use it. First question, why did you go back and make the American version?
I know a lot of people are using the actual core game Patriot version, but since it's an old version, and I know I have the newer version in Swedish pack, but a lot of guys using DCS don't actually understand the Swedish designations and all that, so I actually thought, why not break it out and make an old version of it? And while I'm doing that, I thought, why not go through all the code and check if something should be tweaked, fixed, or other stuff to make it even more realistic than before.
So what we'll do today, viewers, is we'll talk about the system a bit and then put it through its paces in a war games, seeing how Taiwan, which is using this system, can be defended against various types of Chinese missile. So first, this new mod, which is available for free, and we'll give you the download link in the video description. It is essentially the latest version of the American Patriot. The mod features EPP3, that's the electric power plant, that's that guy there. Basically a glorified diesel generator, I think it was, from when I interviewed one of these operators. An ECS, engagement control station, which is that guy there. I guess you'd call that the brain of the system. We have two different radars, an AN MPQ-65 radar, the original, and the improved version, the A model, the AESA version. The original version could only cover a certain angle, plus or minus 60 degrees, left or right. Whereas the AESA version can cover the whole way around, 360 degrees. Is that right, CH?
Yeah, that is correct.
And is there any other advantages? Can it track more targets, or can it see further, or is it purely the azimuth coverage?
Yeah, exactly. That's the main difference. They are actually now made a decision to implement another much bigger and much more advanced radars. This is sort of a stopgap filler, or you could say, before they have the new bigger radar.
The two missiles that are used in real life are here, the Pac-2 GEM/T missile. So this is the long-range variant with a range of about 80 nautical miles. And the Pac-3 MSE missile, smaller missile, and this is going to be CH for, it's going to be more anti-missile, isn't it?
You can say, but they are actually different generations. The Pac-2, as you can imagine, is the first one, and Pac-3 the second one. So they are actually not made for completely different purposes, but they have different strengths and weaknesses of how they are made. But Pac-3 is a much newer version, especially the MSE version.
So there will be a lot of overlap in what they would fire at, do you think?
Exactly, as you can see also at the range, because it's not that, you could easily think that one of them were a short range and the other long range, but it's not that much difference between the range, as you can see.
Let's go and have a closer look at the 3D model. Here we see them in-game. As ever, CH uses top quality models. His models are as good as at least anything you'd find in core game, which is great. In terms of these models, I'm guessing you take them off a site on the internet, or you pay for them. How does it work, CH, just to give the viewers an idea of how it all works?
Yeah, I buy small parts of it, but for example, if you check what it has on the back there, all the generators, all that stuff, I model myself. I buy some stuff like the wheels and stuff, and I then put it together, and everything I can't find, I model myself.
Roger. I guess the next question is, how the hell do you find time for this? Bearing in mind you've got a family and stuff like that. How on earth do you do this stuff? I always wonder.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I have a family. I don't see them that
He doesn't really see them much anymore because I keep putting requests in for mods to be made, viewers. Poor old Mrs. CH is not happy at the moment.
Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. It's a prioritization.
And these will be animated as well, won't they, CH? So things like these, when obviously they're not active at the moment, they're not going to shoot anything. These will come down and the launcher will go up and all that stuff happens.
And here we can also see the Pac-3 MSE version with the 12 launchers. As we talked about, the version in the Swedish pack actually was the model was the Pac-3 non-MSE version, which had the CRI version. It was called cost reduction version. Actually, what it stands for.
I made a mistake.
Had 16 of them.
Yep. So the 16 pack, that was my error as usual. Is actually not the MSE. This is the MSE. I've not got Pac-2 today, and I'm just thinking. Do you think I should have put Pac-2 in, CH, or do you reckon we should just stick with Pac-3?
Yeah, also a good question, because they are actually very different. They have different characteristics. I mean, the Pac-2 is a TVM missile, and these are active radar seekers.
TVM, so that would be track via missile, and active would mean that they have their own radar in the nose cones. I thought today we'd only use Pac-3, but I think Taiwan has Pac-2 and Pac-3, so I'm just going to add Pac-2 in as well, just to make sure it's a 100% fair test. Stand by. Yeah,
and that's a good point, because that's where we see the different missile used everywhere, because, I mean, all the countries have different amount of stuff in store. I mean, things they already bought and haven't actually been using yet, so that's, I mean, everything. Every time something new comes out, you can't just scrap all the old ones.
Yeah, and what I'm going to have is the radar, and I'm going to use the AESA version today, an EPP, ECS. I'm going to have 3 Pac-3 MSE launchers and 4 Pac-2 GEM/T launchers. That seems, from what I've seen around the world, a typical battery. Right, let's talk about what we're actually doing today to test it, viewers. What we wanted to look at today is if these are the units being used in Taiwan to defend from potential missile strikes from China, how effective would they be as best we can model them from public data? Well, so we've set this very simple war game up. Here is the edge of Taiwan. No, it's not actually Taiwan. Obviously, it's Cyprus. It's the closest we've got. But importantly, the gap between here, or pretend China, and here, Cyprus, is the same as the Taiwan Strait. Geographically, it's good enough today. We're not actually shooting Taiwan today. We're shooting a test target, which is this old oiler here, defended by our Patriot battery here. There are 4 types of Chinese missile we would like to use, each just being an example of the category of missile. Category 1, subsonic cruise missile. Category 2, supersonic missile, non-ballistic. Category 3, hypersonic missile, non-ballistic. Hypersonic missile just means it goes above Mach 5. And finally, ballistic missile. Ballistic missile isn't necessarily a hypersonic missile, it's just a missile that goes above a certain altitude and comes straight back down. The subsonic cruise missile will be a CJ-10 and we'll shoot them out of a 055 destroyer. The supersonic missile will be a YJ-18 supersonic missile fired by a 052D destroyer. The hypersonic missiles will be the YJ-21, peak speed just under Mach 10. Note that none of these missiles are ballistic. This one will come in low. This one will be coming low, that's just their flight profile. This one will come in relatively high, but not straight down. It's not a ballistic missile, not in our configuration.
Exactly, I was about to mention that, yeah, because that's how we can actually model it right now.
Right, yeah, it's the best we can do, yep. And finally, we have a ballistic missile. Now, we don't have a hypersonic ballistic missile, unfortunately. It's the best we can do. We only have one asset in-game, which is actually a really old Scud. It doesn't go particularly fast, it's not very stealthy, it's not even a very good missile at all. But what it is a real ballistic missile. It will fire up and come straight down on top of the target. Now, we've not tested any of this because we do not script anything at Grim Reapers. We're just going to see what happens. CH, first, we're going to start with the CJ-10 subsonic cruise missile. Okay, viewers, we've set them to red alert, so the launchers will be ready. We're just going to watch the animations. Here we go. Whee! Let's go and have a look at the ship firing the missiles today. Oh, wow, that was quick. CJ-10s from the 055. It carries 8 of them, and it can salvo them, as you can see. Another big improvement that CH has been making, viewers, is the realism. I mean, setting these things up and getting them to work is hard enough. I can tell you that from my own experience. But now what we're doing is really starting to home in on the realism. We're looking at feedback, viewers' feedback from GR wargames and stuff like that. How would I explain it, CH? We're trying to calibrate the missiles now to get the real life predicted or reported probability of kill, probability of intercept. What some of the war games have shown us that GR have been doing with the CH assets is that some of them are just operating too well. We've had a lot of cases where we've had 100% PK, which in real life just doesn't really happen.
Because exactly, I'm trying to look as much information I can on the probability of hit, probability of kill, and see what kind of parameters I can work with the accuracy, any kind of seekers, how far they can see, and all that stuff, and then there's always the random stuff that the DCS core takes care of. It makes for much more interesting war games when everything is not 100% PK.
Absolutely, yeah, and it brings us to another point, which is to say everything, just like core game, all of these assets, the public ones, the GR assets, are always changing in the background. Every time we've done a war game and we look at the results and we listen to you guys' feedback, we go in and change them. Right, CH, sitting into CJ-10s in, they're flying low, and there's no AWACS, so they're not going to see these missiles until they get relatively close. What altitude are these at? These are at, they're at 164 feet. That's very low.
Very low, yeah. And the MPQ-65 has a maximum range of 108 nautical miles, but that's when they actually can see things over horizon and all that stuff. These are very low, so it can absolutely not detect them at 108 nautical miles.
I'm just thinking that's actually a very low range, CH, for a ground-based radar, because an EWR or something like that could see a bomber at 400 miles. Why is it so small? Is it just because it is literally a small unit?
It is supposed to be part of a larger network of other stuff. And you also have, the Americans, this is the American version, you have the THAAD for the longer range. They actually have just tested the THAAD radar together with the Pac-3 MSE and got much better use of the actual performance of the Pac-3 MSE with the longer range radar from the THAAD system. I thought the launcher was on fire, but it was...
No, that's our target. Viewers, we didn't want to blow up Taiwan today. We thought we might get cancelled again, so instead we're shooting something close by. Ooh, these are getting dangerously close, but then again, the Earth happens to be very curved, CH, so let's just be patient and wait.
That's what they say, at least.
They do say, don't they? Apart from those darn flat earthers.
I can mention these launchers is the newest one, the 903 version, which can carry both the Pac-2 and Pac-3, so you're just different configuration on top of them.
Roger. Well, we've just had one pop out there, CH, so let's go and have a look at what range it detected.
A large one.
It's a large one. So I wonder why it sent a Pac-2 out. Again, it's all range. Kind of... It's the range, is it?
Yeah, 80 nautical miles. It's a slightly longer range for the Pac-2. I think that was a good enough target for it, so it sent one. I might also mention that the MPQ-65, both the A version and the standard version, only can track 9 simultaneous targets.
Roger. I would have thought it would have been a lot more than that.
Yeah, they can keep head of like over 100 of them. I can only track missiles for.
Yeah, it's just Pac-2s coming out. That's interesting, viewers. Well, it's obviously going to make mincemeat of these viewers because these CJ-10s are old technology at the end of the day, but...
And these Pac-2s are, these are not hit-to-kill missiles. These are fragmentation. It's a very big fragmentation cloud that creates. It actually goes pretty close and then detonates. That's actually what they changed with the Pac-2 GEM-T version we have here. What they found was that it didn't detonate at the right position. It was too late. So they actually made it detonate earlier with a new fuse.
Yeah.
So it won't... Yeah, the accuracy isn't very great. I have also configured it to be not that super great, but it's an enormous fragmentation cloud.
Yeah, big warheads, big old missiles.
Yeah. I think it's like 30-35 meters.
That's huge. That's enormous. If you think about that, the average house is what, about 30 feet wide, long. A big house is 30 feet. That's 3 of those houses put together, anywhere in there, and you're basically atomized. Okay, it didn't struggle at all. And let's just quickly double check it only fired the Pac-2s. So Pac-2 check. Yeah, Pac-2. Right. Let's now speed it up more than 2 times with YJ-18s. Right, CH, I'm going to ask you for a prediction here. You don't know because you've not tested this either. But you've now got low, very, very low flying missiles, horribly low flying missiles at Mark 2.5. Now, just to show you how good these missiles are, viewers, even some new ships like the British Type 45 can't intercept these properly. In-game, I should say. Real life, no one knows, obviously. I don't know. I'm not massively confident about the Patriots' chances, but what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. The very low placement of the radar here, you can't see it before it's very late, and they have to get them out in time. I think it's very easy to just let one slip through.
Here's another follow-up question to that then. Now, what you'll see is the Russian solution for that is that they put these radars on giant masts, S400, S500. You see a giant mast that goes 150 feet in the air, and that allows them to look up from here and look over the horizon. But the American ones, I've never seen a mast. I've always seen them down here. Now that's problematic, obviously, because you can't see over the horizon. Any feedback on why that might be?
Yeah, exactly. Even if you look at the THAAD radars and all that stuff, you don't see the enormous ones that the Russians have.
YJ-18 viewers, our version doesn't work perfectly like the real life one because we just don't have all the tech in game that we need. The real life one, I think I'm right in saying, it has its long longevity because it cruises on very low thrust, quite slow.
Yeah.
And then when it's near the target, it will throttle itself up and go up to the massive speed. That's how the real one works, isn't it, CH?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of difference in these kind of scenarios, but it just shorten the time to get to the target.
All we really care about is the terminal, the terminal bit. So it's near enough for us viewers, and there are lots of things like that we have to do. It's just part of,
Yeah.
How high were they? Oh my god, 19 feet. Viewers are traveling at 19 feet, Mark 2.5.
These are very, very modern and they go very low.
Yeah.
Semi-torpedoes.
I can't see it having the reaction time, viewers, if I'm honest. Reaction times and stuff like that in game are all modelled. CH tries to put them as, realistically as he can, but obviously most of it is not open source, so yeah, it's going to be a best guess scenario. Oh, is it going to pop up? No, it's not even going to pop up. But China could have something like this that was swooping over low over the terrain. So this is a thing. No, it's not going to fire. Not going to fire. Just can't make it, viewers. Oh! Stop!
Yeah.
Something happened. What happened? What's fired? A Pac-3 has come out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be hard.
Too late.
Even though the Pac-3, as you can see, it's thrust vectoring. It has a pretty good chance. I think it has a maximum G overload of around 30 G, I think.
That's not enough.
But it's, no, exactly. It's going to have to turn itself around 180 here.
Well, what happened there, viewers, is it took too long for the system to get the solution, to see the thing, compute the solution, get the missile out of the canister, and by the time it's out, you're going to see it's not going to be able to bend enough. Like CH said, the mass, it's overload of 30 G. Look, it's trying to go for that there, probably, and it can't bend round, and that's absolutely a thing. Yeah. Oh, wow, we did kind of see
and remember also that the Pac-3 missiles are completely different from the Pac-2 in that it's a hit-to-kill missile.
You've got to actually whack it.
You have to hit them because the shrapnel it's a very, very small titanium fragmentation warhead.
Roger. I should say we can't model that, or can we? I think we just... They're just high explosive.
I said how large the cloud is. Exactly. This is a very small fragmentation cloud compared to the Pac-2.
Roger.
You have to hit it.
Right, so that's brilliant bit of science, first of all, viewers. Why has that happened? It's because this is going too fast and it's going too low, and that, even a brilliant Patriot system as it is, can't defeat that. So that's a thing. Right, let's speed it up and watch the rest of them go. There's very angry Americans in the comments, but I'm kind of used to it. I think that's right. That feels right to me. Oh, another stop.
Yeah.
Let's have another pop. It's going to be the same thing, viewers. He's not managed a solution.
They shouldn't have put all the valuables in that tanker.
But ideally not, but they get carried away. CH. Look, you see how fast it's coming in? This is 4 times speed. That's how fast that thing is coming in. It's unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. They all got through. Let's see the last one in. Now, we're not going to do it now, but the next question is, what about American SHORAD? What American SHORAD could stop these? Let's go and do some hypersonics now, viewers. Next, YJ-21. This missile is going into service literally as we speak, apparently, with the Chinese Navy. It's a real beast of a weapon. Its terminal velocity, as it starts coming back down, it'll get slower and slower and slower, and it will hit the ship, or whatever it's hitting, at about Mark 3, Mark 4, something like that, isn't it? We've got it set to CH, which is
it depends on the range, of course, but something around that.
Predictions. It's faster, it's much faster, which is bad, but it's big, which is good for shooting it. And really importantly, it's high. And it's not straight down high in our case. It's going to be a nice, good, easy to intercept 45 degrees down. So bearing in mind that, your predictions
should be able to take out a few of them, but that's always the issue with leakage here because it's so they have so little time with this puny radar to actually start all over if they miss.
Okay, yeah. So it's a lovely look at that lovely glide slope. That's a very easy to intercept glide slope. The real one, the real YJ-21 will probably be much hard. It would probably be much closer to straight. Oh, missiles come out. Right, so it's seen it and fired at a range of 20 odd miles. Why couldn't it see it further out, viewers? It probably because it's a small radar cross section mixed with the fact that it needed, I don't know, you tell me, a reason. I imagine some kind of reason.
Exactly.
I imagine computing the solution is not that easy. With that thing going, let's see how fast it's going, just out of interest. It's still going 3,600 knots, which is Mach 7, maybe?
We have seen that before with the YJ-21 because it takes a longer time for it to calculate something. And we have even seen missiles fired in the wrong direction because it over-calculates it.
Yeah. Okay, you can see it, which is, to be honest, probably not that unrealistic in many cases. There's 2 up now. Probably both. Here's the problem, it's the time. Viewers, it takes time to do everything. Bang! Got him! Good shot.
See if it keeps it up here.
Yeah,
as we went, so they can launch 9 of them at the same time. So it should do well with this amount.
I reckon it's got it.
It's a slope here, yeah, exactly. The trajectory is pretty easy with enormous fragmentation clouds here.
Just want to see what kind of speed it's intercepting them at. I'm going to pause it. There! Ah, dang. Let's see how I can get it. No, got it. They were down to about 3,000 knots by the time it hit them, which is, I don't know, in my head, about Mach 5-ish, something like that. So it's in them. So there you go, viewers. Things happening. I'm going to send some more out. It'll probably be the same result now.
And I think we have 8 of the Pac-2s, I think. Roger. I don't remember how many you put there. So yeah, if it would have been more missiles, we would have seen the.
Just for the lols, and you know I like lols.
Yeah.
CH.
All of them.
Why don't we change it to a small flotilla of 4?
And there are much less Pac-2 missiles, since there are only 4 of them.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. So it's going to have to go to Pac-3 before too long. So it starts firing about here. There they go. Pang, pang, pang. I must defend everyone and everything. We had a failure there. I saw a failure. So that was something lost a lock.
Yeah, exactly. The TVM. Yeah, if it loses lock, it. Yeah. Set that.
Wow, look at that sight, Viewingtons. Are you impressed? I am. I'm going to pause it there, just get an update. Oh, failure! Failure, failure, failure. Well, that was easy to beat, viewers. Pac-3s are up. Oh, okay, sorry, whiz past there in 1 frame of animation. No, it's made it through. Wow, we overloaded Patriot pretty quickly, viewers. Look how fast it's coming in. I'm going to pause that there. Wow. I mean, it's got reasonably slow by this point, as a real missile would. A hypersonic missile can't actually be hypersonic anywhere near the ground, viewers. It just turns into a supersonic missile at best, and because it's all the way down to Mach 3 now. Yeah, look at it. Look at its little cotton socks, trying its absolute best, but that's just overloaded. So, now that's an interesting experiment. That's an interesting piece of science, viewers. Watch that plummet in. Pang, pang, pang.
Yeah, and that's also something we've seen before. When they actually start to they don't have the time to do the calculations, it almost gives up.
There's one more thing I want to try on the hypersonics then, viewers. What about if it's just a pair? This is a good science, Wingtons. Will they overload? Ooh, predictions. I reckon it might just manage it. Just.
Yeah, exactly.
And missiles out. Hey, you guys. Go on, shoot.
Let's see.
Pang. Pang. Yeah, I can handle it. It's all about... It's like there's a threshold, isn't there, CH? And once you pass that threshold of what it can handle, it will just leak from then on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. It can handle...
Once they get behind on the calculation, it will lose.
Right, viewers, we've only got ballistic now. Now, like I said, the best we've got for this is an old, like literally 1960s Scud. That's a terrible, terrible weapon in every way. But it is a genuine ballistic missile. It will go straight up, curve round, and go straight down. Now, that straight down missiles cause all kinds of problems because radars aren't really developed to shoot that kind of thing. Well, apart from, very modern specific radars. It's not hypersonic. It goes to about... Actually, I'm not sure. I guess we're about to find out, right? Now, this thing is...
Scud, so it will probably land in the target continent.
Yep, somewhere in the East China Sea, I imagine. Now, this thing, interestingly, isn't far off of an old World War II V2 rocket. It really is antiquated. But Scuds, were they Russian? They are, right? Yeah, they were Russian.
Yeah.
Sold them to everyone.
So you set it to, okay, we'll launch, what's the target coordinates? West.
In hundreds of miles, please. Over there. Yeah, they were terrible, right?
General direction. That's all we can give it.
I get the chills a bit because I remember seeing the old terrible grainy VHS footage, but of them coming down over, not Israel. Where did they hit? Was it Israel or were they hitting Kuwait? I've forgotten. It was Israel, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
In 1991, though, they were firing them, and the old, Mark 1 Patriots were trying to shoot them down, and they actually were. The old Pac-2 missiles were shooting them, but they didn't kill them. They just, the big lump of 2 tons of metal did just as much damage, even if you shoot them down. That shows another problem with ballistic missiles, viewers. Also, look how long it takes to frigging load! How could you make such a bad system? Nice animation, though.
Yeah.
Here you go, Viewingtons. One genuine Scud.
You can even see the acceleration. It feels very heavy.
Yeah, it's barely got a 1-to-1 thrust ratio. Goes Viewingtons.
Almost standing still.
Yeah. Going over the Taiwan is straight. Look
now
at the...
when
I'm just looking at the speed. So got about Mark 5-ish. So it's just-ish on the border of hypersonic, viewers, and it is ballistic, obviously. Right, now where's Taiwan? 140,000 feet, going for 150,000 feet. Just over 140. Right, now this is going to be a really interesting experiment. So what's important here is a missile! Look at that! A thing happened!
Because the Pac-3 has a much higher, I think it's 37,000 meters.
Jeez, that's amazing.
Altitude. It's almost, I think it's 24,000 for the Pac-2.
What are you talking about? We need to talk about that. Why? And so let me think. That is over 100,000 feet altitude for Pac-3. It's a bit like the SM-3 from the ships. It goes so high. And that is because it is also to take down ballistics. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. They actually, funny that you mentioned that, I think actually made a VLS-compatible version of the Pac-3 MSE.
Was it ever fielded or was it...
No, I think they are just testing it, but everything costs money.
I wonder if that's one of the reasons why it's so small, to give it a good enough power-to-weight ratio, or... I don't know.
It's a totally different concept from the Pac-2s, yeah. And you actually have the Pac-4s.
Right, well, it almost certainly is going to hit, viewers, because this must be the easiest thing in the world to hit. Now, here's the thing. I wonder if we can get it really slow and watch the impact. So Scud, 3,000, so it's about Mark, I don't know what it is, 4.5. Yeah. This is about Mark 3, so there's a closure of over Mark 7. Oh, look at the angle it's coming out at. Right, so I'm going to slow it right friggin' down.
And you understand how hard that angle is to hit, because they are actually, both of them are angling down.
It's missed. It's freaking missed.
So he didn't try to hit it in the same angle in the trajectory. So that's why it need to hit it.
God, it's just gone
As I mentioned, it's a hit to kill missile.
How about that, Viewingtons? I didn't actually expect that. When that shot, I thought, okay, that's dead. Right, up goes another one.
As I mentioned to you earlier, this might also be something that I have to look into, because this is actually one of the use cases for the Pac-3.
Roger.
It should hit a Scud.
This looks a lot better. It's got a better solution, better flight path. Ready, viewers? Here it comes. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Oh, did you see? It hit the damn thing! Yes. It hit the damn thing!
Yeah, exactly. I have actually put extremely small fragmentation on it, so that's actually have to hit them.
Wow.
That's the calibration was talking about. How much accuracy should I give it?
I must admit, I thought that sucker was going to get through.
Yeah. You see the difference in the trajectories. If you try to hit something head on in the same trajectory as compared to trying in the downward trajectory, hit something when you self are going down. And maybe if your sustainer or booster is not giving you any more power, try to, it's very hard.
A follow-up question is going to have to be, why did you choose Pac-3 and not Pac-2 for that particular intercept, I wonder?
Altitude, because it has a much higher max altitude.
Just the altitude. Just for the lols, let's put a full battery of them in.
And that's also something I might, now when we test it, because as you mentioned, it's a science, you should probably, the guy pressing the buttons, would probably not, because he knows it's not a 100% probability to kill. He wouldn't send one missile out.
Yeah.
For one reason, he would push the button several times.
Roger, right, see what kind of PK we get. So they're all going to miss probably. Miss. And these are all going to hit. Oh! Pac-2, Pac-3. Viewingtons. A thing
now
appears to be happening.
Now we start mashing the button.
Now you say, fire everything! Pang. Miss. Pang. Miss. Miss. Hit. Uh-oh. Oh, we got a leakage! We got a leakage. Too much. Oh, sweet! The Scud's missed, so it's irrelevant. But we did.
Exactly. I was just about to mention, yeah, that's embarrassing enough. But I mean, it's a Scud. What are the odds it will hit something?
Right. So that doesn't even bother, boys. It'll burn itself out. It'll sleep well tonight. Well, you know what? That shows that CH really has been doing his work well. And look, this is a relatively easy thing to shoot down, viewers, and he missed 2 of them. It shows that leakage is happening more now, which is great because it's surprisingly hard to make a mod not be very good. Hence why the crapper, the newbie guys that make mods, you know, they fly around at Mark 10 and hit every time. It's actually harder to make it not that good. So that's exactly what we've got here from CH, which is great. Look at that. Bang. Complete miss. And bang.
That's pretty far away, yeah.
We're creating a reef. Right, CH, that was jolly good fun and some interesting science and it had some good talking points, but we need to summarise for the viewingtons now. Look at that one, that was turned right round. Look. I will shoot you round over here. Subsonic was a piece of cake, no leakage. The really dangerous ones were the Supersonic ground huggers. To be honest though, that wasn't a fair test. They are anti-ship missiles specifically designed for anti-ship usage. And it's not at all a fair test for Patriot. I'm sure you're all shouting at your screens. You know, you wouldn't have them flying at 20 feet over Taiwan. It physically can't happen. So that was a little bit silly, but it was still interesting. And they did, interestingly, the Patriot did have a pop at it. It missed, but it had a pop at it. So well done for trying. The hypersonic non-ballistic, on their own, they got intercepted, I remember. But with 2 of them, they could just about manage it. But with 4 ships firing a total salvo of 16, they just could not handle it. They didn't have enough time, there were too many targets, and those targets were moving too fast. And finally, what we call a true ballistic missile, even if it's a terrible, terrible one, was intercepted with ease, but it put a battery of 5, just 5 missiles, and they leaked through. Because, let me try and think why that is then. Because they're easy missiles, they're easy to see on radar. Oh, it must be because they're coming down so steeply. That's the only real difference. It's because they're coming down so steeply.
Exactly. It's much harder, and with the speed it has, I mean, if you look upwards, something coming down in that speed, and try to find where should I put it. So, with the speed I have myself, and when that speed runs out, where should I put it? I imagine it's extremely hard to calculate that.
Which brings us to our kind of closing comment, which would be, so is that why THAAD was invented then? For that, to fill that gap of that big missile coming down almost from space?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, valued viewers, watch this space. I like to think we've learned some stuff there. And that was good fun. Anything from you, CH?
No, I learned a lot. Very, very good.
Hope you enjoyed that, and bye-bye.